This week, episode 315 of Stogie Geeks. As we come to a couple more weeks and we're about to enter a new decade, Drew and I wanted to review the past cigars of the year for the decade. And towards the end, we're going to have our predictions for what is going to be the cigar of the year in 2019. Stogie Geeks, episode 315 starts right now. Welcome to Stogie Geeks episode 315. I am your host, Joe Hozempa. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. I am joined by my co-host, the little dark-haired boy from Texas, Drew. How's it going?
Wonderful, Joe. It's just out here in the cigar garden today, enjoying life, enjoying the Stogie. Got my drink and ready to get down with this past decades list.
I am here in true Joe Hozempa fashion. I got my cigar and my Bloody Mary going and my coffee as well. Super excited about today's episode. We are going to have a chance to review, and it's amazing when I go back and check out this list. It's like, oh wow, yeah, 2010. I remember growing up as a kid when they would have like countdowns of the decade in regards to music, and I've been into music and all that stuff. And when we were discussing the topic, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It is a decade, and what's kind of funny is like not a lot of not a lot of people are even focusing on the fact that we're about to enter a new decade. So that's a great point that you brought up, and I'm super stoked that you did. And I think that this is going to be a awesome episode of reflection and rekindling, and probably some cigar searching as well. But so. Cigar Aficionado, as well as other publications, come out with the top 25 of the year. And so Drew and I are going to review the top one, maybe one or two if they're interesting to us for that year. And we might throw a Stogie Geeks rating on that as well. First of all, I want to review the process that Cigar Aficionado posts on their site. It's pretty simple. Just so you know, if you're new to cigars or cigar podcast, this will help you and point you in the right direction. What they do is they take all of the highest rating scoring cigars from the past year, and they assemble them in groups. And then they don't ban the cigars. The panel of judges smoke them blindly. That's step 2. So they really don't know the identity of the cigar. However, sometimes if you look at the size, let's be realistic. If you look at 2016, the Artesian Bull, right? It's like you know what that size is. If there was one of a barber pole, you would know. But again, they are not banded there. Step 3 is the top scoring cigars are then smoked against each other in multiple rounds, and then finally the list is assembled. Moving forward, so that's actually super cool. I remember when I was doing Cigar Club Radio, they would release them, 5 at a time or so, and I was doing a cadence and trying to figure out which ones and doing predictions. So, let's jump right into it. We're gonna start. Well, first of all, Drew, 2010, if you're gonna what were you doing then? Because I want the Stogie Geek listener to kind of reflect, 2010, what were you doing?
Well, back in 2010, I was still in San Diego, just working and smoking stogies for sure. But yeah, I was just hanging out. I was at the time I was 30, 39.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was just hanging out, just doing the career, working, and pretty much that's about it. I mean, I was living in San Diego. What can I say?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was rocking and rolling at my ad agency with 6 employees, pulling my hair out for sure because I had 6 employees, and just I remember going to a cigar shop to actually hide from my employees to get my work done. You know what I mean? So cigars were always in my in my life then as well. You know, and meeting people in the industry and all that type of stuff. So not much has changed, I guess. You know, just still grinding it out and smoking some good cigars and smoking some okay cigars, and now I get a chance to talk about it. So super cool.
Nice.
You know? Alrighty, Drew, 2010. Tell us what that cigar was. Let's start cracking through this list.
All right. So 2010 cigar of the year was a Cohiba Behike. BHK 52. You know, so the Behike was the one that won the cigar of the year was a Petite Robusto, and it was a known size. They would call it a Leguito, number 4 in the Cuban factories. I've had the chance to actually devour about 3 of these probably in the last 4 months leading up to this list. I kind of knew where I wanted to go towards the end of the year. What I thought that we should review was a kind of a decade collection, just kind of talk about those past cigars while everybody else is focusing on the cigar of the year for this coming up, rounding off this year. So yeah, so this cigar, I you know, from what I've read and talked with other patrons down at the lounge, this was definitely a cigar that has still it's still around, kept in rotation in a lot of the club members where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. My only comments about this cigar is had it. Super cool. It's pretty expensive. You know, it does come with a price tag, I believe. It's around what, 70-ish?
Around,
yeah.
Can go from it can go between 65 and 85.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, they're about $70.
Yeah. So, you know, it's got a price tag to it. It's a good smoke, for sure. I wouldn't give it a super high rating from a Stogie Geeks rating perspective. I would definitely, you know, I'd give it a box split if you want to swing that, you know. Maybe even a 5 just because of the price point. I do want to make note that this is one of the most counterfeited cigars still. So if you do traveling and you go out and whatnot, and it's amazing, at least now about 2-3 times a year when I'm in a cigar shop, someone comes up to me and they were gifted this cigar and they're like, you know, you think it's real? And you know, it's some of them you can really tell. And, you know, I'm like, is this your only one? Because I'll smoke it for you and let you know if I thought it was real or not. You know, but yeah, so ironically, the number 2 cigar that year in 2010 was the Viaje Reserva number 5, which, if you're me, I love that cigar still. You know, if you can get your hands on that one, you know, and stuff like that. I'm such a fan of Viaje for sure.
Yeah, on the Cohiba, I was going to say, since my moniker is the band man, always look at that band, check it out, take a look at it. You know, there's ways to inspect that band. If you go online, and you know, there's a lot of things about spotting fake Cohibas. You definitely just look at the band, just look at it real quick. You'll find the errors or the omits, you know, on the fake ones for sure. So I've seen them. I've held them. I've looked at them and I'm like, oh, okay. So educate yourself definitely when you're if you come across these cigars. Yeah. Especially if they're going to be charging you a premium price of 65, or I don't care if it's over $20.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, not every cigar is going to be counterfeited if this is number 1 cigar, but Cohibas are notoriously counterfeited, especially if you go into tourist traps and you know, travel overseas and get Cubans and stuff like that, you know. Just letting the consumer beware. Also, quick note, 2019 smokes are coming out 11 through I'll get to that. In 2 days, 15 hours, and 39 minutes, the cigars will start to be released. That was the point of me making that notation over there. Awesome. 2011 was the Alec Bradley Prasado Churchill.
Yeah.
Number 2 was the La Roma de Cuba Mi Amor Bellicoso. I just want to go and say, moving forward with this list, I'm always shocked at what is number one. So, if you're listening at home and you're not watching and you can't see my facial expressions, I'm always shocked that, like, every year I'm like, that's the number one cigar, really? Because, like, 3, 4, 5 are really good cigars too, and that conversation always continues throughout the shop till at least April, May of the year, for sure.
Yeah.
So the Presidio, I mean, I'm sorry, the Alec Bradley, Prensado Churchill. I mean, I've had it. I'm when it comes to Alec Bradley, I've made my point across. The original Tempest blend. There you go. Maybe the Filthy Hooligan when it comes out once a year. I like the Candela Barber Pole. It's really a black market with the Candela Barber Pole, but again, when 2011 was up, I'm like, really? That's pretty sharp because I absolutely positively love the number 2 smoke, the La Roma de Cuba Mi Amor Bellicoso. In fact, I probably, if I were to rate that today on a Stogie Geek show, I'd probably give it a box split because I at least have 10 or 15 of them a year for sure. Still.
Yeah, I rated this one a 5 for sure because, well, one, I can't get them over here as much as from when I went and searched them out on the East Coast and the West Coast. But yeah, I gave it a 5. I've actually got my hands on 2, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, in my travels, and it almost was like a unicorn, but it really shouldn't be. But it definitely was a good cigar. The backstory on that, it's the tobacco was fermented, through aging through mid 2008, and then they just started the process of getting the cigar together.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Side note: the number 4 cigar that year in 2011, the Potagus Series P number 2, banging, complete. Like, box, go for it. Like, and if you can get it in Cuban, even better. Yeah. They're available, But yeah, absolutely. So, the Alec Bradley stick of the year, I'd probably give it a try one. Yeah. That's just my. But it does very well in shops still. Which now that we're kind of like looking at this list, like, wow, like it still does pretty good over the past 8 years or so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's definitely got a good shelf life for sure. I mean, I've talked to other cigar people there in my lounge, and they definitely when they get their hands on these, or when they're traveling on business, this is one of the cigars they do look for because it's a good rotation cigar. And but like they even told me they would do a box split on those for sure.
Oh yeah. Anything else on 2011, or are we moving on?
Let's move on.
We're saving our discussion for 2019. That's gonna take the bulk of the bulk of the show for sure. 2012, Florida Los Antilles Toro, again, still around, solid smoke. Cigar of the year that year. Number 2 was, this is the 2012. Number 2 was the Cohiba 1966 Edición Limitada 2011. I agree with that. It's by Cohiba for sure. Romeo and Julieta was in 3. Padron Family Reserve 85 years Natural number 4. And Arturo Fluente Rosado Sun-Grown Magnum R Vitola 44. I mean, really? That should have been 2 or 1, right?
Right.
And I know I said top 2. I'm going to stretch it. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. So let's get back to the point. Florida Los Antilles Toro. It's a solid stick. It's still around. It in shops here in the Northeast. It's still on shelves, and it does well. It's a no one's bargain bin from my experience at all.
Yeah. No, and then they did a Maduro version of that cigar in 2016.
Yes,
as well. And so, and I've had a few of those, and again, like you said, I mean, it's a great cigar. It's a good rotation. I mean, this one right here was for me a box split on this particular smoke. But the Maduro version, I really enjoy. I don't know if you had a chance to have those yet, Jim.
Yeah. And again, if I were to rate that stick, either the Maduro or the natural, like it would be, it's box split for me for sure. Yeah. Box split. I'm not going to cross reference some of the ratings and that I put on Stogie Geeks, but here, it's a solid stick. It's a really, really solid stick for sure. That was 2012. Why don't you bring us to 2013, Drew?
2013. So it was the Monte Cristo number 2. This was a torpedo. This smoke, as they say, it is it's stately smoke. I mean, I've actually got my hands on I think 5 or 6 of these.
Yep.
And yeah, this smoke definitely a lot of sweetness and a lot of these spices come through. I liked it very much, and I actually got another search out to grab me some more. Once they come once I can find them. But,
yeah.
The Monte Cristo number 2. What was the number 2 cigar that year?
Hold on.
I don't have that.
No, I got it. Yep. The Monte Cristo number 2, Habana, right? So it's Cuban, right? I mean,
Yes.
I people ask me all the time, what's your favorite cigar? I'm like, okay, like what time of day it is? Did I eat? Did I not eat? How much time do I have to smoke? Like, oh no, I'm not making it that complicated. But when it comes to what's your favorite Cuban, it's and I've said it here on the show over the past couple of years, Monte Cristo number 2 and probably like a Boulevard something or other in Potagus. Like if I were to rate them, but yeah, the Monte Cristo number 2 is awesome. And it's a staple. Like it's a staple smoke. So I guess in 2013, I would agree. But the number 2, the Agent Room Quattro, F55.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Number 3, Davidoff, Nicaragua Toro. Yes. Give me some. Number 4, probably should have been number 2 in my opinion. Again, if you're listening, we're on 2013. Number 4, Padron 1964 Anniversary Series Maduro Diplomatico. Yes. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
How the heck did the Agent Room F55 beat the Padron Anniversary 64? Let me tell you this question right now. If we were to go into a cigar shop across the U.S., ask people when's the last time they had a Padron, when's the last time they had an Agent Room, I'm going to go with Padron. 98%, Again, super cool to kind of reflect on this. And that Bahique from 2010 made the top 5 again. So, 3 years later, you got to scooch down. Out of the list that we've done so far, 2013 is, I agree with that. You know what I mean? Like I agree with that number 1 smoke for sure. Definitely. Where are we? 2014. All right, there we go. 2014. Trying to think where I was. Oh yeah, okay. I was on the radio. Yep. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Yep. This list all comes back to me now because now it's like I've been in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In regards to at least talking about cigars and researching, critiquing, mispronouncing names since 2014. Your host Joe Hozempa. But anyway, the cigar of the year for 2014 was the Oliva V. The Oliva Serie V Melanio Figurado. Still around.
Still around.
And still kicking. And it's kicking well. The Oliva rep lives here in the north. Well, the rep lives here in the Northeast. I seem to run into him all the time here. And, it again, the stick does well. They have gift packs this time of year and all that stuff. So, for those of you who are shopping and don't know what to get your significant other or the cigar aficionado on your list, you can't go wrong with this smoke.
No. Yeah, this smoke is still around. At our lounge, I mean, a lot of people still smoke the cigar, and they love it. It's definitely one of the ones that I've seen a lot of the members hoard in their lockers, and every once in a while you'll get 3 out of the 12 people in there smoking the Melanio cigar for sure.
Melanio. See, I mispronounced that again. What does that say?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, number 2, EP Carrillo La Historia. Great smoke. EP Carrillo, the La Historia. Number 3 was the Lugion Fume d'Amour. Still around. They're still around. Hoyo de Monterey, Epicure Special Tubo, number 4. And number 5, Rocky Patel Royal Toro. I have to go number 6 and stretch it. Arturo Fluente Opus X. Really? Like, really? I'm getting heated, right? Who the hell smokes these things, right? Anyway.
They must have got the unicorn. They must have got the one in that batch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
This wasn't hidden on all notes that day or something.
I'm telling you, Drew, I'm having a blast doing this show. You're chilling in the cigar garden. I hear birds in the background, so that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I hear like, it's awesome. It's like a Zen show here at Stogie Geeks. Yeah. So apparently the Rocky Patel Royale Toro beat the Fluente Opus X in 2014. All right. Must have been a cosmic shift or anything. And the Series V Melanio, right? That's how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Melanio was the number one was the number 1 smoke of the year. What would you rate the Melanio?
I would rate it I would definitely rate it a box. I mean, I love them. I like them, and I do go to that probably once every other couple of weeks.
Yeah, all right, that's cool. That's fair. It's a fair assessment, definitely.
And they're $14. I mean, so the price point on that helps out as well. And if you age them and store them correctly, they still maintain their quality for sure.
Well, we know me and aging. It's not happening.
Yes. Let's ask Paul.
Yeah. Paul's like, oh, I got this one from the original factory in, 2011. 2015. Why don't you announce that smoke?
So my father, Le
Bijou. I'm going to help you.
La Bijou.
La Bijou.
La Bijou, 1922 torpedo box press. Cigar of the year in 2015. I haven't had a chance to get this smoke in my hands, but from what I've been told from other people online, this definitely is one of the cigars that they felt that earned this spot. I don't know what 2 and 3 and 4 are. I don't have that list in front of me.
We'll get there. Let me ask you this question. You said you have not had this?
I've not had that stick yet.
So is my father relevant in Texas? Like are they?
No, we definitely have my father's, but we have all the latest in.
Oh, the latest. Okay, yeah, sure. Too. That's interesting. Yeah. This cigar is still from the Northeast, still around. I hope you're keeping tabs from all our shows of what sticks I said I'm going to ship you. I'd be lying to you if I said I have them. I'm going to call you one day and be like, okay, today's the day we're shipping you sticks. Well, what's the list? So you should put this list. You should put this stick on that list. If you haven't have a list already, you should start compiling that. That's coming up.
Yeah.
So, it's again, it's super high rating here. I'd give it a box split, right? But definitely a box split with a friend is where I stand on this. It's a great stick. I find it interesting. You got to V-cut this. Now I know it's a torpedo, so it might be weird. Some people like to guillotine that. Obviously, you can't bullet it unless it's a really small, which will make the draw hard. But a V-cut torpedo or that Colibri deep cut V, super cool. It's a great stick. So we'll have to put that on the list for sure. We're in 2015. That was the cigar of the year. Number 2 was the Ramon Alones Cuban. I would agree with that. Super good. This came up in conversation yesterday at an event. I was next door at their event, and a client had, oh, I order sticks online. I know you do Story Geeks, and you don't like that, right? He was like trying to, but he actually talked about the CAO Flathead, and I was like, I was like, red label or black label, and he's like, they have a black label, and I'm like, yeah, they have a black label. It came out this year at IPCPR, and I'm like, do you really like the Flathead? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll give you 2. So I ran next door back to Stogie Geeks, grabbed them, gave it to him, and gave him a couple Stogie Geek stickers and away. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, take them. Like, if this is your gig, go for it, man. You know,
Nice.
Take it." So it's a weird how that came up, but anyway, that was number 3, the Cielo Flathead. V660 carb. Obviously, they name them after with the series of different car pots, as we say here in the Northeast, right?
Yeah.
So getting back to number 1, that my father, yeah, totally. Number 2, the Ramon Alonez, special from Cuban. 3 was the Flathead. 4 was Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos Bellicoso. What? You're going to tell me that CAO, right? You're going to tell me that CAO Flathead beat the Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos Bellicoso.
That's 2 years in a row.
Right. Hey, you know, you know. Number 5, Padron Family Reserve, 50 years natural. Totally. It's a great smoke.
Oh, yeah.
And then you keep on going down. Number 10 sticks out in my mind. The Liga Privada, number 9. God, 2015 was when Ligas made awesome Ligas.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, just my opinion. There, another one that sticks out way down on the list is the L'Atelier La Mission, 1959. And they got number 17 on that list. So now I'm stretching it, right? We're only going to do the top 2. Now I'm in 17, right? No, I'm just trying to, you know, give the Stogie Geeks a kind of lay of the land as to what came out. Because, you know, when that debuted, you know, and came out around those years in 2015, you know, because as the years progress, we kind of forget. At least I do. You know, everything goes so fast, you know? This trip,
well, that's why.
This trip around the sun just seems to go faster and faster every year.
That's why you and I, when we were talking earlier, we thought this would be a great segment, you know, to go through the cigars of the decade and lead up to 2019. So yeah,
hell yeah,
I mean, you do. It brings back, you know, muscle memory in your mind. Like, oh, yeah, I got to get back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into 2016, I want to remind the Stogie Geeks listeners to go to stogiegeeks.com, and if you click on the McAuliffe cigar banner, they are looking for cigar ambassadors to join their team, and you can register and go through their process. If you are a cigar ambassador, your benefits, you get an ambassador coin, private Facebook group membership, cigars at different McAuliffe events, exclusive contest for ambassadors to go out there. You get a 25% discount on all swag items over there, and you get behind the scenes view of a boutique cigar company. It all starts with, and if you ever wanted to step into the industry and you like cigars and you wanted to take a gamut at that, I'm really super stoked that McAuliffe is bringing back the ambassador program. So if you want to do that, you go to stogiegeeks.com, click on the McAuliffe logo, and away you go with that process. If you become an ambassador, we are going to be doing a show where we interview ambassadors, and you're going to be able to come in remotely or in studio if you're traveling here to Rhode Island in G Unit Studios. But you're going to be able to have a panel, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be an ambassador. And I'm super stoked, and I think the industry needs it as well, not only for McAuliffe Cigars, but for some of the other brands to bring back the brand ambassador program and subside from the social media influencer program. So anyway, check them out, stogiegeeks.com. Okay, 2016. This one took me by surprise. I did a whole episode rant on this one on the radio in 2016. So you can announce this if you want to.
Yeah, La Flor Dominica, LFD, Andalusian Bull, Cigar of the Year 2016. Yeah, this also, I'm with you on that. At first, I was like, man, really? I mean, it's a good cigar. It's a great cigar. Actually, I just smoked one the other morning. I did that on my cigar, my morning Stogie, daily morning Stogie post, and you know, it's a great cigar. Again, I mean, I just don't. I don't know how it ended up there, especially when I know 2, 3, and 4 probably should have been in the number one spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and again, this is one of those cigars that would really stick out if you're doing a blind taste test for sure, right?
Yeah.
You know, but it was number one. That's of 2016. The number 2 was the Rocky Patel Sun-Grown Maduro Robusto.
Mm-hmm.
Potagus Series E number 2 was number 3. Again, that Potagus came up. It's a solid stick.
It's consistent, definitely consistent throughout that decade for sure.
Number 4,
it's very solid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Number 4, I absolutely positively love the EP Carrillo Selección Oscuro.
Yeah, banging,
still around.
That would have been that stick right there. What I would have thought would have been a number one stick.
Right. And the LFD beat the number 5 Padron Series 1926, which came in at a hot number 5. You know, Padron, Arturo Fluente, they're there. EP Carrillo, probably not so much as we get like 2019, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about what is that? The Encore.
Yeah, the Encore.
Yeah,
yes.
well, we got to save that to 2019 segment. We're getting there. We're almost there, right? We are in 2016. Another one, the Oliva Serie V Milanio came in at number 8 that year. Hoyo de Monterrey, Cuban Epicure number 2.
Yeah,
it's a light Cuban. I've had them. Yeah. You know, it's a pretty solid stick. The Punch Gran Toro Santa Rita came in at number 10 that year. Sticks that came out that really stick out for me that year, 2016. Number 11, Casa Fernandez Miami. Arganesa Leaf with the
Leaf.
Yep. The Maduro. Casa Torrent 1901 was number 12. Agent Room Small Batch came in at 14. Number 17 was the Brick House, J.C. Newman.
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know. I don't know. That was an interesting year, for sure. You know, I really liked that year the EP Carrillo Selección Oscuro, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That should have been number 1. Like I said earlier.
Guess there wasn't enough people. You know.
Oh yeah.
Guess there wasn't enough people to hike that up. You know.
Yeah, they're.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say their palate at that point probably was overworked.
Yeah, absolutely. 2017. You want to introduce it? I love it.
Go for it, Joe. That's all you.
Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos, Eye of the Shark, number 1 stick. I remember I was talking about this on Stogie Geeks. 2017, I was here. Are we on 20? Yeah, we're on 20. Yeah, I remember this now. So, Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos, Eye of the Shark. Awesome stick. Goes great with a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
If you're...
Put a check mark on that to send me that cigar because I haven't had that one either.
That's gonna take some searching, but I can find it. I think. I hope.
Yeah, I've got a search party out for that one.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. Make sure you keep a list because I wanna fulfill that. I don't like keep saying, oh yeah. I've been saying for 3 months we're gonna ship you some cigars. Oh yeah. Number 2 was the Padron Series 1926. Number 2, solid 1 and 2 there.
Yeah,
you know. Number 3, Oliva Serie V Bellicoso.
Wow.
Number 4, Cuban Boulevard Bellicoso Fino. Number 5, Alec Bradley Tempest.
Alec Bradley on Tempest.
Not the original one. Just FYI. We're in 2017.
I'll put that on my note.
That was top 5. Yeah, top 5. Alec Bradley Tempest came in. Ashton Symmetry Bellicoso number 6. It's cool. My Father the Judge. Those are still around. Those are still around kicking.
My Father, my Judge. I actually have a box of those. So, yeah, that cigar. I love that cigar. That's why I bought the box, because that cigar is definitely a good cigar to age and to enjoy pretty much any time you want during the day when it, when it comes in that rotation.
Yeah, it's got a reasonably priced as well. A stick that sticks out. Try saying that 10 times, right? The Plasencia Alma Forte. Yeah, number 9 that came in. Another one that sticks out, the New World Toro Especial by AJ Fernandez. That was number 12. Yeah, it was, and you got some Romeo and Juliet is in there, 15. Rocky Patel at 16. Villiga came in at number 10. So, but I agree. Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos, Eye of the Shark. It's funny that we're going through this list because I might change my prediction that I told you offline. Now that I'm like seeing them all like at once, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haven't cracked the code yet, but boy, I can't wait to get there.
Well, that's what this discussion does. I mean, it opens up, muscle memory again, and you start to go through this list, and you're especially the extended list you have there. I wasn't intelligent enough to put that down here on my side, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's okay.
It conjures up a good memory of those sticks, and then you go back and go, okay, that one definitely got to put it back on that list, and revisit that cigar again.
It adds to the dynamic of the show. You're sitting in the Zen garden, you relax. I'll sit here behind this super cool microphone setup and get pumped up and pissed at what was number 1 and 2. Yin and yang, Drew. Yin and yang.
That's right.
That was 2017, so that was a pretty solid year. That Eye of the Shark by Don Carlos, Arturo Fluente, I would absolutely positively give that box worthy all day, for sure. If you want to go for it, I mean, you can really treat yourself and enjoy that for sure. All right, Drew. 2018, and then the long-awaited list of 2019 comes up.
All right, so 2018, finally, EP Carrillo, Encore Majestic. It was Cigar of the Year in 2018. I've had this stick numerous times, and it definitely, to me, 96 rating. I'm not sure, maybe back then. For me, it's probably in the 90s, low 90. But and I'm just, again, it's just the sticks that I've had. But yeah, that is a 2018 stick of the year. What'd you think of that stick, Joe?
I'd give it a 5. I give it a 5. There are some other stuff from EP Carrillo that I'm really into a little bit more. For example, his small batch stuff, 2015, 2017, 2013, the small batch EP Carrillo.
I box split this with the guy at my shop recently. So $11.50 a box. I mean $11.50 a stick. Generally, it's what it runs for throughout the United States. So that was a pretty decent, little split I did with somebody at my lounge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2018 stick of the year. I don't know. I judge it on the list, and then we can jump back to that. Number 3 was the Eliuense Wise Man Maduro Robusto.
Yeah.
If I have choice between the two, I'm going with the number 3.
Yeah.
Eliuense. That's super great stick. It's more suited to my palate. Number 4, Padron Family Reserve, number 44, Natural. Sure. Absolutely. Number 5 is H. Upman, Sir Winston, Cuban. Sure, we can go. Number 6, Arturo Fluente Hemingway, work of art.
I got Yeah,
You
I've
know,
had those.
classic.
Very classic cigar.
Mm.
I've got 4 of them in my humidor now. Yeah, I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy the cigar as well. I mean, it's like I said, it's definitely a classic tobacco uh, aroma, and again, good anytime. You don't have to wait for anything spectacular in life to happen. But yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
Mm. Number 8 was the Oliva Serie V Milanio Churchill. Again, still around, but then again, we're in 2018, but yeah. I love how it shows the progression. Like, if you look at it from a decade perspective, and, they were up there, but they still kind of hang in the top 10 or so. Yeah. Number 9 was the Alec Bradley Black Market Esteli Torpedo.
Yeah.
Number 10, Monte Cristo Nicaragua Series Robusto. That's a great stick. It's a really great stick. Sticks that stick out. Number 13, La Flora Dominicana Double Ligero Chisel.
Yep. That's one of my all-time favorite sticks to go to, along with Neanderthal, because I just love the nicotine that's in those sticks. I mean, as far as the Ligero goes, but I definitely have those in my regular rotation.
Yep. Number 16, I think, is a really great stick with a super high rating from me. There, the Hoya de Nicaragua Antonio Gran Reserva Robusto Grand. You had that, Hoya de Nicaragua?
I've had 2 of those sticks
Yeah.
Earlier this year, but haven't had any recently. I'm gonna have to put that on my revisit stick list.
Yep. Number 17, McAuliffe Reserva Limitada. I'm just getting into the McAuliffe stuff. It's interesting blends for sure. Yeah. So last year when the Encore came up, I don't know. I like I said, that El Uense or the Wise Man Maduro Robusto or the Padron Family Reserve number 44. 3 and 4 respectively. Awesome sticks there. Ernesto makes some great sticks for sure. But like I said, I like some of his small batch stuff. Like EP Carrillo comes up with that, and like I've literally shoveled through boxes of those being here on Stogie Geeks when I was just reporting once a week in 2017. And in 2018, I mean, we've shoveled through a lot of those. And Paul is a big fan of the EP Carrillo New Wave Connecticut as well. It's a little bit softer on my palate, but there are some days I come in and I want that kind of mild sweetness there, and he has those readily available in his humidor, and I usually grab a couple and have them pretty frequently. But he's all over those still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Encore Majestic was the number 1 stick of the year for 2018, which now brings us to now pivot and talk about 2019, Drew. Just so you know, Story Geeks listeners, you have 2 days, 15 hours, and 5 minutes to wait till the 2019 sticks get released.
Yeah.
And they're going to release them throughout December 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So we'll be able to figure that out. And the Cigar of the Year will be released on December 19th. Going back, December 16th, Cigars 8, 9, and 10. December 17th, 5, 6, 7. December 18th, 2, 3, 4. 19th, Sticks of the Year. And then on the 20th will be 11 through 25.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be coming. I'm sure if you stay close to social media, you will be catching all the gossip, especially in some of the groups where people post stuff. And I like to see some of the comments. People get rowdy. I can't believe that's the stick. So let's take some time to talk about. Let's take let's take the remaining time we have to kind of talk about like 2019. What stuck out for you? Whether you think it'll make the list or not. And what do you think if we could put together a list? What do you who do you think is going to play in there? And are you going to keep notes of these lists so we can come back and reflect, or do I have to write these down?
No, I'm keeping a note on these lists.
Thanks, Drew.
I mean, yeah, because the contenders for 2019 are very strong contenders. The first one that I wanted to get into was the Plasencia Alma del Fuego Flama.
Yeah.
So that's that's up there. That's been talked about on all the different magazines out there, and talked about in a lot of the cigar lounges that I've visited in the last few months. And it's definitely up there to be a strong contender.
Yep. So you're all right. If we're pivoting now to strong contenders, I am going to throw into the mix. I am going to throw into the not by choice, just by momentum, Alec Bradley Gatekeeper. Because if we were betting. Right, this is not by choice. I will give you my choice, but if we're gonna get into what we think is gonna be in the mix, I think the Alec Bradley Gatekeeper should be in that mix, at least top 25 for sure.
Right.
Another one.
I agree with you on that.
Another one I think that would play is the Alandinos. So the way the box came out, it's in a super big box, the way it's on a humidor, it's like, I don't know, I've heard different takes on the retail. Some of them say these things sell completely off the shelf and do well, and some of them say just the way it's presented in the box of it's all kind of like, I don't know, erect a set, or just the way it's all in. Some people just like, yeah, okay. But, it's not in traditional boxes with separate sizes. Right. That shouldn't make a difference with blind taste testing. But I'm actually shocked that wasn't really like a super cool player in 2018, for sure. Mm. So I think that it might be there as well. And just because if we look at the sticks of the year, I think they're going from a strength profile. They're going, in my opinion, if you're an experienced smoker, what I dub is like barely medium, as opposed to like true medium for a newbie or for someone who's getting into cigars, but barely medium laying across the line of an overall profile there. So I would think that the Alandino, something or other from that would play. Did you write that down?
Agree. I wrote that down.
Cool. So we have your Plasencia, and then we have Alec Bradley, Gatekeeper, playing. This is our prediction of who would play, not what we would vote for.
Right.
And then we have a Alandino, something or other. Captain Obvious, Arturo Fluente, Don Carlos, right? That would go there. You have any other ones?
The Cavaliers, Genevieve, White Series, Lancero. That's gonna play. Oh yeah!
Wow!
Lancero.
Wow! That's a bold. That's it's cool, but the size, I don't know. But yeah.
I think it's definitely a contender as well. And again, I'm getting this information just from talking on all the different platforms with different cigar aficionados out there, and just this is definitely one that everybody that I've talked to, they've actually got a box of these. A lot of the retailers I spoke to, the brick and mortar owners, these were flying off the shelf as soon as they hit the ground running. And so, they feel like the White Series Solomons and the Lanceros, but specifically the Lanceros, were definitely going to be a definitely high contender in that 2019.
Okay. Do you think the CEO flathead, either the Cobb or camshaft, but the CEO flathead, the Black Label one, would play in that mix?
Yeah, that Black Label, I've had those sticks. Not really. I didn't put that in my wheelhouse at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was going name wise, like name recognition, even though it's blind. But it I don't know, the way it tastes on my palate, it's unique. If I were a judge and I was blind testing, it's unique enough to intrigue me. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't give it a high rating, but it's enough to intrigue me if I were at least put a mock, if that was number 4 of the 10 I was smoking or whatever the process would go. It would intrigue me to at least have that in the mix, just because it's just a unique type of profile on my palate as opposed to the red label
Right.
CEO. But, okay. Anything else you think would kind of jump in here?
Yeah. The other one was let me get to my list here. I'm sorry.
No, sure.
Everything went out. The La Hera, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. La Hera 1936 Torpedo Cortadado.
What?
I
didn't even heard of that.
Right. So this is LAGALERA 1936 Torpedo Cortadado. So again, and just talking and then just speaking with people in the industry, this is the master blender is Jose Blanco Holchi. Is that how you say his nickname or his? So this cigar here, from what I understand, it's Tabacalera La Palma.
Yeah.
It is a Ecuadorian cigar, Dominican Republic cigar. I'm sorry, wrapper Ecuadorian, binder Dominican Republic, filler Dominican Republic. I know we talked about, we weren't going to get into all those details. This was released in 2018, 7 out of 10 on the strength. So it's one of the ones that kind of stuck out there in my mind. But just from talking with different, cigar aficionados in the industry.
Interesting. We're still on the list of what I think is going to play. Diesel, Hair of the Dog.
Hair of the Dog.
It's going to play. It's going to be in there. It's going to be in the top 25. It wouldn't be in my top 25, but I think it's going to play in there. Drew Estate. I'm going to go with the FSG. Florida Sungrown by Drew Estate should play.
Yeah.
Because they always throw some Sungrowns in there. Right? Yeah. And, Drew's Liga isn't what it used to be. All right? For whatever reason. And I don't know. I'm thinking that's gonna really. I'm interested if that's gonna be in top 25. You have anything else?
What about the Liberation by Hamlet?
I don't think that. I don't see. I would. That's like me saying, well, what do you think about the Black Label Green Hornet? Right.
Right.
Like, why isn't Black Label in that mix?
In that mix, yeah.
Right. So we're gonna get to that part, and we're gonna probably end the today's episode with that, with like what we would put into the mix. But I don't know. Like, it's I try to think like what really moves, because what really moves, and I know this from owning a cigar shop, and you got to keep in mind when I owned a cigar shop, this was pre-social media, 56K modem days, right? Whatever was put out in Cigar Aficionado, customers would come in. So top 10. So at this time of the year, we were waiting for the top 10 for Cigar Aficionado, and we knew we had to have at least 8 of those 10 on our shelves any way possible we can to get those on our shelves, because people are going to come in, to try the stick of the year. Right? Happens. It still happens to this day. It's just now it's a lot quicker because of social media. We get instant results. Before, we used to have to wait for the Cigar Aficionado publication that would come out, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah. I don't know. A couple more predictions. Do you think Gurkha would play at all in the they've been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
They've been kind of quiet.
Yeah. I got some people in my lounge that pissed off some Gurkha people.
Well,
let me tell you, it's funny when Gurkha tells one of my members on social media to shut the front door
Yeah. Yep. Another one I want to throw in the mix is a Hoyo de Monterey La Amistad.
Amistad, yes, I definitely.
I think it should that should be in the mix. Another one that should be that I think is going to be in the mix. Cigar shops are going crazy here in the Northeast for it. Don't want to judge it, but a lot of people like their stuff. Is HVC First Selection, the short robusto, the edition broadleaf short robusto. I think that would definitely play there. And if I'm gonna go with two more, I would go with a JFR Lunatic. I'm going on a whim. I'm going on a whim here, But yeah, but no, because from seeing the list, some of the JFRs have been in that mix throughout the years. They haven't been above a 10, or I know definitely a 5, right? But yeah, so yeah. And my last prediction, I would say Ahoyo de Nicaragua, something or other.
Right.
No, it depends on what's in the panel, right? What's interesting, if we actually took the time out to say, okay, in January of 2020, these got the ratings, right, of 94, 93, 91. These got the higher ratings, or 92 and up, and we actually kept a tab of that, then our list would be more, in depth. For that. But judging from the characteristics of the kind of cigars that are in there, that's my take.
So my last one, just the sleeve up, the ace up my sleeve, is the San Latano Dominican Toro, AJ Fernandez and Jose Blanco collaboration. This cigar, I've had the cigar throughout the year, and I can't speak any more higher praises than being the top favorite for me, and for a lot of others that I've spoken to online and on social media. But I think this one's going to be up there in the top. I'm going to say in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's my prediction on that.
Okay. I'm still throwing more into the mix. La Flora Dominicana La Valcada.
La Valcada.
That's going to be a player. Yeah. That's going to be a player, You want to pivot to what we think should be in there and then kind of make our prediction and round this up?
Sure.
Alrighty. What do you think should be in there?
Well, I do believe that I know what should be in there is going to be the San Latano for sure. The other one I feel it's going to be in there is going to be the La Roa 115 anniversary Robusto. Those are my first top 2 that I think will be in there for sure.
Okay. I am going with the La Flora Dominicana La Valcada. That should be top 5. And I am going to go with Arturo Fluente Don Carlos. That selection from there should be top 5.
Okay.
Going into this show, when you and I talked offline for the Stogie Geeks who are listening, I was going to pick that as my number 1, but I think I'm changing my mind as I'm sitting here.
Tell us.
That's why I don't. I'm kind of like, I don't know, like the top. Like I'm trying to think of like all the momentum. It to me it's a guessing game, right? It's like because I'm always shocked every year. I'm always shocked at what is the stick of the year every year. If the La Flora Dominicana La Valcada got it, I would not be shocked. I would be like, wow, that's great, because that's probably the first year that I've guessed a top 5 and that it came in. You know what I mean? But, I can tell you what I would love to see in there is a Black Label. Cigars by Black Label. Such a fan of the brand, such a fan of the progression of the brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm super into their stuff for sure. Shocker, that's not really in there. Pete Johnson and Tatuaje are not in there. I mean,
actually, I have that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, a petite Black Lancero or the Robusto version. Like, why isn't that in there? Why?
Right.
Because maybe it didn't get the rating. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, there's a Pete Johnson I have in my list somewhere. I got to find it. Go ahead.
No.
Just shattered.
And I think the Mi Carita is gonna play.
Yeah, definitely Mi Carita.
Yeah. I wouldn't go top 5 on that. I'd go top 25.
What about Sobre Mesa?
Sobre Mesa. That's an interesting point, because if we were to put 100 people in a room, and most of them would probably flock to the Sobre Mesa as opposed to the Mi Carita, I would personally flock to the darker cigar. But most they like to stay in that medium, natural, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why some of the classic facings do very well year after year.
So the Tatuaje I had on my list, or that I had on the list, there was I talked to a lot of my people on social media. So that, and I actually had a couple of these Tatuaje Reserva, the SW short. So that was thrown around by Pete Johnson, for Pete Johnson, through all the different social media platforms that I've spoken to several people on this one, and they think that may end up on the list somewhere, probably not in the top 10, but definitely for sure in the bottom, somewhere in that top 25.
My stick of the year prediction: Monte Cristo Platinum Series Churchill. Prediction, not like what Joe Zemper would pick, but
right.
But then again, if it was blind, I'm a fan. I think Monte Cristo, they've been around for a while, clearly a while, and they're in the mix. But I would go with stick of the year, Monte Cristo Platinum Series Churchill. That's my official stamp. I was toggling between that and the Autor Florente Don Carlos.
Don Carlos, okay, I can see that.
What's your top stick? What do you think?
I'm gonna stick with San Lotano. I think that's gonna be up there.
No, I'm talking about the. You think that'll be number one?
I think it'll be number one. Like I really do. I mean, that's where I'm sticking my guns to. I know I said top 5, but I believe that's gonna hit number 1.
Wow. Sure. Okay.
I know.
No, I mean, it's really, do you think a Cuban's going to be number 1?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah. I think Nicaraguan, a Dominican Republican cigar is going to be there.
Yeah. I think there's enough activity of what got higher ratings in 2019 to have that kind of be an afterthought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the years that might have came, okay, yeah, sure, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about any of the new, like My Father's, the La Promisea?
La Promisea.
Yep.
Yeah.
That came out this year.
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll show up on the list for sure.
Nat Sherman, Timeless. Forgot about
Nat
that.
Sherman.
Nat Sherman. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nat. Yeah, I think that'll show up definitely in. I'm going to be surprised if it's not in the top 15.
Okay.
I will be surprised if that's not in the top 15, but I believe that that's going to be in that spectrum.
Yep.
In the cigar of the year.
Wow. Okay. What do you think about probably like the New Worlds would play? AJ on some of the New World stuff. I'm not saying top 1, but going back.
Yeah. I would say it would be his will be in the top 10 for sure. On the New Worlds.
Yep. I think cigars that should be there. Jumping back. Osak, the 1 shot 1 kills, should be there. Should be there. They probably won't. Perdomo. You can't forget about Perdomo. Can't count him out. You know what I mean? I'd go top 10 maybe. You know?
So is that the Perdomo State Selección Vintage Maduro?
Yeah, I would go.
Material?
Well, I don't know about the the Padona State Selección Vintage Maduro.
Yeah.
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 Not gonna get into prediction of sizes. You know, who knows? The La Historia by Perez and Carrillo, the Encore 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
That came out this year. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to bump Monte Cristo number 2. That might be it. That might be it. I don't know. Oh, I'm struggling. I really am struggling.
Yeah.
Davidoff will play. You know, Davidoff's gonna play for sure.
So you did talk about Joya de Nicaragua, Cinco de Galas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah, that's in that list as well. Where it'll land, it's uncertain. With that one being a Nicaraguan stick, and I'm not saying that's just because it comes from Nicaragua. Nicaragua, it's out of the contention for sure. But I have a strong feeling this will be a strong contender in the top 10 as well.
Right. What I think should play, Room 101 10th anniversary. You know, that should play, but it probably won't at all.
And then they have the Liga Privada number 9, the Corona Viva.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from again, just from people I've spoken to, they feel that one's going to be in the top 20. And again, wherever that falls, it will. But as you said, the Liga line has subsided somewhat from talking with everybody. Everybody talks about the 15, I think, year Liga. And they 20, talk about that. And of course, we know where I think that gentleman left Drew Estates that year, right? Or was it 2016?
I think it was 2016.
Yeah.
No, 2017.
We're talking about Saka, right?
Yeah. No, that's 2016. Yeah. Time flies. Time flies. Yeah. My last prediction, what could possibly play is the Trinidad. Play. You know, top 25 it should be in there. Definitely. Which one? Probably I don't know, a Trinidad something or other, and you can't count out Vega Fina, Grand Reserve. You can't count. You can't count that because they're in the mix. You know what I mean? It's like it's crazy. You know. Yeah, that's I think the Tatuaje pork tenderloin should be stick of the year for this year and next.
Yeah.
And maybe the year after that, but I don't know. That's the way it goes. Anything you want to add to this segment, Drew?
Well, again, I mean, just talking about the cigars that are out there. The other ones that I didn't touch on was the. I'm sorry, I'm going through my list here as we're speaking. Would be another name that's out there that's been thrown around on social media is going to be. Oh man, I'm sorry, my list is Punch. So we talked about Cuban. So Punch, short to Punch. That's been kicked around.
Yep.
So that'll be one that just depends where it lands. Depends where it was in the segment of being rated. At Cigar Aficionado, but Punch short D Punch was one that's in there as well.
Okay.
I think it'll be on that list.
So just to recap, you think it's going to be the San Latano.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be the Monte Cristo Platinum. And I wish the Viaje Skull and Bones would be up there too. You know what I mean? I'm such a fan of them as well.
Hey, just real quick, what about Oscar Valadares?
Oh, man. Yes. Man, this is like a never-ending list, right? Now we're like up to 50, right? If you started writing all this down. The Superfly.
Yeah.
That's a
Superfly.
Wait, were you thinking Superfly or were you thinking something else?
Well, I had two on that one, and so just on my discussions with my people online, they thought between Superfly and the Oscar Habana Winter Edition. So it's a Petit Corona. That got some high praises as well. It's been kicked around again. So it's between that and Superfly. So I think one of those two for him will definitely end up on that list. It is wrapped in a candela leaf, so we'll definitely see where that lands. I just wanted to put that in
I think
listeners' mind.
Yeah, sure. I think if it was one of the two, it would be the Superfly. But who knows? I mean, I wonder if they get the same judges. Like 2 years or something like that. And I don't know. It's it's blind. It's supposed to be unbanded. I'm sure it is. It's just interesting on people's palates, because I speak to some listeners and, when I see them out and they're like, I can't get into some of the stuff. And of them, like, man, I've tried stuff that you've smoked. And it's, oh, my God. And, like, when I try it with a Bloody Mary, like, you're so right. I'm like, yeah, well, I just tell you what I like, and that's the way it goes. Welcome to Stogie Geeks. I tell you what I like. It's awesome, because it's awesome because I like it. It doesn't mean you have to like it.
So the other one I had on there, too, is the one-off Corona Gorda.
Okay.
That was just on that list. And again, I do talk to my people that respond to me online. They felt that this cigar definitely is worthy of notation. Maybe in 2020, who knows?
Yep.
Going forward, but they definitely put that one out there. That one is Tobaccos de Valle de Jalapa, Nicaragua. By Fumar International.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that data from their website, but they feel that one's going to be kicked around as well.
Right. Wynwood Hills should be in there. The Mayhem, Johnny, our producer's chiming in. The Mayhem should definitely be in that mix. That's a freaking awesome stick.
It is.
It's like an awesome stick. I'm such a fan. Raul, I know you're listening. Send some sticks.
Raul, we need some mayhems over here at Stogie Geeks.
We need some mayhems over here at Stogie Geeks. So yeah, definitely.
And the one Gurkha Ghost, the one Gurkha that I had on this list as well was the Gurkha Ghost Gold Shadow. It's the group. Is the owner. PDR. Cigars is the factory where it's made. So that's just there. I'm not putting that on the list, but that's definitely been kicked around as well.
Okay. We could go for another hour, but we're not going to go. If you want to keep the conversation going all week long, you can go to facebook.com/Stogie Geeks. Let us know your prediction, or you can tag us and we will have our awesome crew responding to that as well. Or you can contact Drew directly at drew@stogiegeeks.com or me, Joe H, @stogiegeeks.com. Email all complaints to drew@stogiegeeks.com for sure. Drew, any last words? We're wrapping this up.
No, everything, like I said, for this, go out there, look at these cigars, see what they're going to start rolling them out on Monday. So Cigar Aficionado, I believe it's going to start rolling out their list in segments, starting from number 25 down to number 19, I believe it is, and then go on from there throughout the week. So keep a lookout for that. Let's take this conversation to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and let's see what
Drew wants Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I say email Drew@StogieGeeks.com or Joe@StogieGeeks.com. Email us both. I'll hit reply all. We can have a long super chain conversations. It would make everyone's life a lot easier if you do that. But either way, also don't forget to follow Drew on Facebook. He posts sticks in the morning that he's enjoying in his cigar garden,
That's right.
over there in Texas. The little brown-haired boy from Texas
4 a.m.
At 4 a.m. So yeah, so Stogie Geeks, we can keep the conversation going all week long. I want to remind you that behind every cigar is a story worth knowing. So get out there and support your local brick and mortar. Want to say a special thanks to JC Newman, Havana Cigar Club, Placencia Cigars, and McAuliffe Cigars. Stogie Geeks, we'll see you next time.